What's up, guys? This morning we're up at my grandma's house and we're gonna get rid of all these rock beds up both sides. There's a lot of rock. We're gonna haul it off. We're gonna smooth this out, taper this bank off, sow it in grass, and then we're gonna, after we're done with all that, we're gonna skim the top of the driveway, get rid of all this grass that's growing on top of the rocks. This has got about 40 years of gravel accumulated under there, so we've got plenty of gravel under there to take about 1 inch off the top and get rid of all the grass. So those beds and the bed going up the driveway there, we're going to load up all that rock into the trailer now. So let's go. So all finished up, got the rocks out of this section here, the rocks out of that section there. Believe it or not, all of it is in the dump trailer. All the roots, the dirt, the rocks. The question is, will it dump it? We're gonna find out here in a minute. But the driveway, probably not the most ideal thing to do it with just a standard bucket. Without having like a land planer or something like that. But I tried to cut it down a little bit, get the grass out of it, and just stir it up. Once I cut it down, I cut the humps off the side, and I was able to dump the grass and stuff back in the pasture, kind of disperse it out. But got our driveway looking good again. Got rid of the rocks and the flower beds up beside the driveway. We planted grass, just contractor mix stuff that I had at the house left over from another job, and planted it really thick. I actually ran over it with the skid steer to mash it in the moist dirt. Put some straw on it, and she should have grass in about 4 days or something. Check out this. Got a pretty good load there. Trailer could hold probably more than twice that much volume. but there's a lot of weight there, a lot of rock, so we'll see if it'll dump it. So I just brought it down to my house. I turned around at the bottom of the road because I had to go pick up my kids, and I had to leave it parked on the side of the road while I done that, and I didn't want to try to whip a really hard U-turn with that much weight on the trailer. So I let the back end of the trailer drop off on accident into the ditch just a little bit, and it was enough where I had to put the truck in low range four-wheel drive because high range wouldn't even pull it out at all. So you guys can make a Dodge joke about that, but it didn't want none, so I must have a lot of weight on there. But I'm gonna dump it right here where this kind of dirt spot is. That way I can use my grapple to kind of go through it, get the trash out of it, and just leave the dirt and the rocks. And it'll probably catch most of the rocks, kind of sift them through, because the rocks is really all I want, and then I can use the dirt to kind of just smooth up right here, and we'll be good to go. So let's back this thing up and see if it'll actually dump this. Well, as you can see, it dumped it like it wasn't anything. I was going a little bit slow. I would dump it and then sit there and kind of analyze what the frame was doing. The ground, you can't really tell, but the ground is not really level right here. And years and years ago, we had a dump truck load of riprap dumped behind the house, and I think it was 22 tons he had on there. When he dumped it, the frame twisted on the dump truck, and they had to get a backhoe to push it back straight where it didn't flip the truck over, because it got in a position where everybody was kind of afraid to move. So didn't want that to happen with this pile, and it was definitely some weight. I wish I knew how much weight was there, but it's a pretty good bit. The trailer cleaned out good. I didn't dump it quite all the way. I'm gonna probably go up there and kick that little pile a little bit and back up and dump it again, just so it cleans out everything. But it did clean out really good. I have to get me a shovel or something and clean this little trough out here. But now the fun part of working through all that stuff and getting the rock out of it and separating the trash and stuff. So not gonna lie, it did take a little bit of time to get through that pile and get the good rock out of it, get the trash out of it. I hauled like 4 buckets of trash down to the gully and dumped it out, and just kept the gravel and the rock out of it up here. My wife just about had a fit. She came out of the house and that big pile was sitting there. She said, "What are you gonna do with that?" This is where I turn around my car. I said, "I'm gonna put it somewhere because it's good rock. We don't want to just throw it in the gully." So I put it here. This is where the race trailer parks, and the water kind of stands right here, and it comes down that bank when it rains really hard and splashes up against the wheels. So I built this up a little bit, took a little bit of surface gravel off just evenly around, and dumped it on top of the riprap there, run over it a few times, and smooth enough to park on. So as I get more and more gravel to throw down here, I'll start just building this up, and eventually all that stuff will disappear, but it'll make a good base. Since I'm always going to be parking equipment and trailers and stuff out here, it'll help everything not to settle as bad. So this has been my weekend fun, helping grandma out, getting some more experience on the machine, just doing some different stuff. It won't be long, I'll have to be putting my new tracks on. You can see I'm gonna run these until they break. But put the trailers back and call it evening. So thanks for watching.